This is the Google Pixel 9a. This phone has launched for 50,000 rupees. I've been using this phone from past 2 weeks, and in this video I'll give you my detailed review on what did I feel using this smartphone. Because the phone seems too good to be true in papers, but before you spend your 50,000 rupees, I would say wait. Wait for 10 minutes, watch this video, know in detail about this smartphone, and then decide should you purchase this smartphone right now or do you have to postpone or change your decision. Like every other flagship smartphone brands, this smartphone also comes in a tiny box which does not include a charger. Back in the days when a Pixel phone launches, it used to excite us. There will be something in that Pixel phone that separates it from all the other Android smartphones. But this time, I did not feel that there is anything special when you compare to other similar smartphones which are offering even better things at a better value for the same price. First thing that attracts me to this phone is this beautiful lavender color. You just take this phone outside and some person is definitely gonna ask you which phone this is because this color is so gorgeous. And if you're looking for a compact phone that fits in your one hand, then this is for you. It was 6.1 inches last time, but they have increased it to 6.3 inches. But still it's a handy one hand phone. But the weight is around 180 grams, it's on the lighter side. But bear in mind, don't use this phone without a case because this is too slippery. As you can see, this backside is actually a matte finish. But sad to say at this price point, still we get a plastic back. It would have been better if it was a glass sandwich design because it has metal frames and you have antenna cutouts all over the sides. This time they have fleshed out the camera layout so there is no camera bump, but this kind of seems like off. As you can see, the distance from the top is a little bit more than how it is in the side, and this flash is kind of off from the middle, which means this totally looks like an asymmetrical design, so which makes me feel weird. In 2025, for a 50,000 rupees smartphone, you expect good amount of protection. Yes, the device is IP68 test and water resistance rated, but it still comes with Gorilla Glass 3. I mean, the Pixel 9 Pro, Pixel 9 XL and all is having the Gorilla Glass Victus, but this is coming with a Gorilla Glass 3, that too in 2025, is not something which I expected from a flagship smartphone. Secondly, the next problem, it happens with all the Pixel phones, I think from Pixel 6, which is the placement of the volume button and the power button. Generally, whichever phone you might have used, let it be an Android or an iPhone, right side wherever the finger lands is where you get the power button. And in iPhone's left side you have the volume button, but in Android the bottom one is power and the top one is the volume keys. But here it's a little bit different. You can see this is not the power button, this is the power button, this is the volume keys. So whenever my phone is locked, if I want to unlock, I just take the phone and then click on this volume button and I keep changing the volume. But unlocking is still fine because you have an in-display fingerprint scanner and its position is so good. But for locking the smartphone is when I have a problem. I just keep pressing the volume buttons and then realize, okay, I have to press even more on the top, which makes me feel uncomfortable. In the bottom, you have this dual nano SIM tray slot. You can put a micro SD card. Either you can put two physical dual nano SIMs or you can put one physical nano SIM and you can have the next one as an eSIM. The base variant comes with 256 GB of storage and it has 8 GB of RAM. Now let's talk about this display. They have increased the size from 6.1 inches to 6.3 inches, but look at that bezels. It definitely doesn't feel 2025 because even smartphones coming under 20,000 rupees are having even thinner bezels. Don't get me wrong, the display is actually gorgeous. It's a 6.3 inch Full HD plus 120Hz OLED display with a peak brightness of 2700 nits. But like I said, when you're using the smartphone outside somewhere, definitely not just a back. When people see the front, they'll ask you, which is that phone? Which is this outdated phone? Because this kind of thick bezels is actually outdated. But I don't know, this weird problem that Pixel has with this 120Hz displays is by default when you turn on the phone, you can see that the smooth display is turned off, which basically means you will get a 60Hz display by default and you'll feel, oh, it's not that smooth. But then you have to go to the settings and the display and then turn on the smooth display, and then you will be getting this 120Hz. I mean, normally when brands have something called a 120Hz display, that is what they should showcase. I'm not sure why they have hidden it. This phone comes with the same flagship chipset from Google, the Tensor G4. And don't get me wrong, the Tensor G4 is a really powerful chipset. See, it got around 1.1 million AnTuTu score. This score is sufficient enough for all your gaming and day-to-day performance needs. Paired with this, you get an 8 GB of LPDDR5X RAM and a 256 GB of UFS 3.1 storage. So that is where you get this big of a score. But there is one small catch. Remember I told you the back is plastic. This phone, whenever you keep it somewhere, say in an AC room, and you take it in your hand, you feel that the frames are so cold to touch. But the moment you start using this smartphone and give it a little bit of heavy task, say you download a 3 GB game like I downloaded Asphalt, or you download an even bigger game like the Genshin Impact, or you do an Antutu score test, that is when this thing is gonna heat up. You see this place is gonna heat up like anything, and I can really feel that this phone just heats up even for lighter tasks that other smartphones don't even heat up. But if you're into gaming, then this can be a problem. Because of this heating, say you are running a game in 60 FPS, then later point of time you play it for 15 minutes and the temperature goes up, it automatically throttles the CPU and GPU and you start ending up getting 30 FPS, which just makes your gaming experience a little bit average. So bear in mind, for normal tasks the phone doesn't heat up that much, but a little bit of heavy tasks that normally other smartphones doesn't heat up, this tends to do that. But the battery backup in this smartphone is really impressive. 5100 mAh of battery is there in this device, and you can easily get it for one day. Say you charge it in the morning and you have a normal day, in the end of the day you're gonna get around 10% of battery left. But I'll not suggest you to get the battery till that, because this has only 23 watts of fast charging, and bear in mind you don't have a charger in box, you have to get it separately, a PD charger, and the charging speed is slow. So 23 watt really takes a lot of time to get this fully charged. And I forgot to mention, this even supports wireless charging, and this goes up to only 7.5 watts. But the UI on this device is something to be experienced. You know how smooth this is. A stock vanilla Android. You don't get any of the third-party apps or ads. Whatever you get is all the Google apps. I have few unnecessary apps in this phone from Google, like the Google Watch app. I don't even own a Pixel Watch, but still you have the Google Watch app, and you have few other Google apps. I think you should sit and start uninstalling all the things that you never use. But the feel of the UI, the way the notification panel comes, and the smoothness and everything is so smooth that you feel like you have reached the epitome of Android smoothness. But Pixel UI is gonna be a little bit boring if you are coming from other UIs like the One UI or the Color OS or the FunTouch OS, because there are a lot of limited customization abilities. Unlike the other smartphones, you don't get that fancy things like the fancy dynamic island or the live notifications, live activities, nothing as such. It's just a pure vanilla Android, just like an iPhone user. But still, iPhone has started giving more customization because they don't have another option. But for Android, since you have a lot of options, this is definitely going to be a boring phone, but it's gonna be a very smooth phone. But they've brought these kind of customization for the lock screen clocks, like you have different fonts and all. So it's not like totally you are blocked from customization, but yeah, it's limited. And it comes out of the box with Android 15 and you get a whopping 7 years of software support. Whether it be OS updates, whether it be security patch updates, you're gonna get it. So 7 means it's now in Android 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So even if you buy the smartphone, say after 1 year or 2 years, you still gonna get 5 years of Android support, which is good. It increases your phone's resale value. But because of this slight heating, I'm not sure if this phone can survive till 7 years. It's a question mark, but let's see if they can improve it through a software update, because it's Google. They know how Android works. Coming to the AI features, yeah, Google has always excelled in the AI game. This doesn't come with that much of built-in AI like you see in other smartphones. You have an app here called the Pixel Studio. So once you open this Pixel Studio, you can just type in whatever you want, and then you can generate images like how this seems. You can choose the styles and you can type in the prompts and you get these kind of images. And then if you hold the power button, you get the Google Gemini, where you can ask the questions and write the live things and all the Gemini features, you get it here, and it's very well integrated. And if you tap and hold this, you get the circle to search feature. But unlike other smartphones, what I realized, the phone has very good haptics. So even if you scroll like this, you get the subtle kind of, see, you scroll like this, it goes and hits in the bottom. You scroll back, it goes and hits on the top. So that kind of subtle vibrations is there. And when you tap and hold for circle to search, it's like the moment it circle search opens is when you get the intensity of the vibration a little bit peak. That kind of small things are there. Then you have this voice recorder where you can record clear voice and even transcript if this language is something that Google knows. Yeah, all this is fine, but there is one small disappointment that I had is with the modem. You remember last time the only major issue Pixel had was in network connectivity because of the modem. The 5G connectivity was not good, the range reception was lesser, the speeds were unstable, there were a lot of call drops, and they have used the same modem in this. And yes, even though it has improved a little bit, you still get to face those kind of network issues like the lower range reception, switching from 4G to 5G, random call drops in between calls, network speed variations, those kind of things are still there. But yes, you have a lot more antenna bands right now. But if you are in a place which has a very good reception, you don't feel anything. If you are going into say high range place or things like that, you might feel a little bit network issues. But other than that, this gets the Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3 version, you get an NFC support, 18 bands of 5G, and yes, eSIM. Okay, you might be asking why you're not speaking about the highlight of Pixel phones, the cameras. Well, I had a lot of expectations from a Pixel phone on camera because that's what they have been known for. But you know what? I've been testing a lot of phones these days, even in this price range and even lesser price range, where you get a telephoto camera, a very good photo output, Zeiss imaging, Sony imaging, Hasselblad imaging, etc. This phone's photo feels bland. Say in bright sunlight, if you take a photo, this looks absolutely gorgeous. There is no issue in that. Even in crazy dark nights, you get these kind of amazing photos. But the kind of versatility, the clarity, the colors, etc., it's kind of off that you have to do an editing before you post. And Pixel phones do take good portraits, but this time I don't know, the skin tones are a little bit off. It's kind of a reddish. And if the light is a little bit down, you can see how bad this is. Like the cutout, the edge cutouts and all is, it's like copy paste. You can see the hairs are blurred out and slight grains are there. So it's not like the best camera performance that you can get out there. And yes, you are going to miss a telephoto camera. You have a 2x crop in this, but it's not up to the mark compared to other 50k smartphones. It supports 4K 60 fps videos. The videos is fine. The ultra wide photos is not that great. So overall the camera experience might not be a bigger strong point for the smartphone. But yes, the smartphone has a camera that can do the job for you, but it's not the best camera out there. The phone takes good selfies in bright light, but really struggles when the light is down. One highlighting thing that I liked is this Add Me feature, wherein if you are going in a group and you want to take a group photo and you don't have to ask anyone, just tell one person from the group, let them go stand there and click a photo, and then the person who have clicked this photo can go and stand there. You get a preview of what you've captured previously. It'll be a translucent preview, and he can stand in the proper place and then again click, and you will be automatically added to that photo. And it looks so good, and it does this with the AI. But I have a problem with this camera UI. You see this shutter button? The shutter button is so high that I end up clicking all these labels instead of the shutter for taking photos. And the weird part is whenever you click on this label, no, they give a feedback. They give a vibration feedback that if you're taking a photo by not looking at the phone, when you're saying, okay, you stand there, I'm taking a photo, and you click on this, I get a vibration feedback and I feel I've taken the photo, but actually I have did this, I've clicked on these labels. And even switching from the camera to video, everything is below the shutter button that it confuses me. I would say there should be nothing under the shutter button. And if you're taking portrait photos, you'll not feel any shutter lag, but if you start clicking multiple times, you can see that this button has been grayed out because it takes time to process the photos. So overall, if you ask me, should you buy this smartphone, I would say wait. Don't buy it right now. It's not worth 50k considering all the other great options that you have. I'd say wait for the sale. This phone will definitely come under below 35, 34, even 33k is when this smartphone is really going to be worth the price. If you have any more doubts about the smartphone, do let me know through the comments. I'll try to reply them. And if you're coming to this channel for the first time, do consider watching other videos and subscribing if you like it. Until next time, bye bye.